Okay, so problem 3, we're doing sample standard deviation. So you need the correct equation. Now there's 2 equations in the book, and this is the one we're using because this is the one more accurate. Okay? And the thing is you want to make sure that you write it correctly, because we know that some people don't. You got it? Yeah? Okay. And then, so what we want to do is take it step by step. We want to figure out step by step what's going on. So what we did was we took the information that we had from the last problem, all right, which was 3, 6, 8, and 11. And that the x bar was 7, okay, and that the n was 4. Okay? So now what we need to do is we need to figure out what the sum is. Well, it's funny. If we multiply this by the 4, then we're going to get, so n times that obviously cancels the n, and that'll be the sum of x. So the sum of x, you can do basically add these up. You get 28. Okay? So what I like to do is put the sum of x here and the sum of x squared here, right? Adding on to this thing. So right here I put in 3, 6, 8, 11, the sum of the x's, and then the sum of the x squared, right? And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to write that down here. The sum of the x and the sum of the x's squared. And then right here, I'm going to do this in red. Is going to be the sum of the x's squared. And the reason is because these are the squares. I just decided, okay, square, square it, square it, square it. So the sum of the x's squared, I can put right in here. Now, why would I do that? Well, because in the equation, I have the sum of the x's squared. So I need to know the sum of the x's squared. I also have the sum of the x's squared, and I also have n. Those are my variables that I need to find. So I'm going to use 3 different colors. Green is going to be n, and blue is going to be the sum of the x's squared. Okay? So right here, when I find the sum of the x's squared, sum of the x's squared, so now I'm going to change that to blue from red, is I'm going to say, okay, well that's this added up, and that should be 7, no, that should be 230.
230, and the bottom one's 28.
And the bottom one should be, and I'm going to write that in green, 28. But then when I write this one, because this is in red, I'm going to write this in red.
$784.
So now I've got this is 784. Okay? So I know that this is 784. I know that this is 230. And I know that this is 4. So now I just plug it in. And I'll do that in black. So S is equal to the square root of 230 minus 784 divided by 4 divided by 4 minus 1. And so you have to follow your rules, your order of operations here. It's really important because when you do the minusing before you do the dividing, you're going to come up with the wrong answer. Okay? So we divide the 4 first. So right off the bat, we say 784 divided by 4, we get 196. Okay? So, now I've got s is equal to the square root of 230 minus 196 all over 4 minus 1. And then what I do is I subtract 196 from 230. So 230 minus 196, I get 34. And then I might as well subtract these two, and I get 3. So I get s is equal to 34 over 3, which is equal to, and 3 goes into 3 how many times? Once. 3 goes into 4 how many times? Oh, but I can't do that yet, because this is the square root of 34. It's not just 34. So I can't just divide them through and call it all good, right? Oh, so what do? Well, two things.
Find out the square root of 34.
Yeah, you can find this out, and or you can write it as a number. So we're going to do both. Okay? So one way is, remember way back when we were doing these prime factorization. So it's 2 and 17 and 1. So obviously I can't break down 34. I can't pull any numbers out. So square root of 34, it's done. So that is one answer. And what I like to call this is the answer. It is the whole answer. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's another answer that we like to use.
It's numbers.
And that's the approximate answer. Now, I know that we probably didn't put this in our sign, but this means approximate. Okay? And so what we're saying is, okay, there's another one that says that s is approximately, and then what you do is you do the math, you put it in your calculator, and you say the square root of 34, right? Which is 5.83 blah blah blah, right? Divided by 3, and you get 1.9436506. Okay? And that is what we like to call the approximate answer.
Okay, then how to get 11 and a third?
No, that one was wrong, remember?